Hey, what's going on everybody? Gleez here, and by popular demand, we're going to go over the Risen Emperor variation of Shao Kahn. We're going to go over some of his best normals, some basic game plan stuff, some combos, and we're going to implement this all into a game plan for you. I also linked down below, if you're unfamiliar with the input system for Mortal Kombat 11 and the notations, I put a beginner's guide down below that I wrote. You can check it out, and it goes over a lot of stuff, and if you're new to the game, it's definitely going to help. So without further ado, let's get into Shao Kahn.
No one fears you anymore.
They'll soon realize their error, Scorpion.
If you survive this fight.
Round one, fight.
Alright, so when we talk about Shao Kahn, your mindset with this character basically has to be two things. You want to make sure that you keep the opponent close to you to do some throw-strike mix-ups or strike-throw mix-ups, whatever you want to call it, on Wake Up. That's his biggest strength, and it basically stems off of this string. And notice the spacing. You can dash in, you can throw either way. Alright, and then it resets neutral. Or, right, you can go in and then forward dash and get that stuff going. Alright, and you can loop them. Dash in, back throw, or forward throw, whatever you want. Alright, that's basically the most effective type of game plan. You can also stagger this. This, I believe, is like -8. This is -7. It's not going to be something you're going to get full combo punished for in most instances, but someone can poke and punish you and gain advantage that way. There is a gap between the forward 3-4. Alright, so right there, they can flawless block it and launch you. So keep that in mind as well. Now, when you're looking at this string, notice that the 4 comes out rather late. Alright, so people typically on a stagger on block, they react a little bit late to the forward 3 because they're anticipating the 4. And if you're getting someone that's constantly trying to flawless block you, the stagger actually works really well from this, even though it is pretty negative to stagger. But because of the gap, it actually allows you to stagger it a little bit better, a little bit more effectively. And that's going to be his main string that you're going to be using. You're basically going to be throwing and mixing with the mid and the throw on Wake Up, and that's basically the mix that he brings to the table. Now, he also has some other moves that are really good, and we're going to go over them, and we're going to put him on block. Alright, so this right here, we're going to put up the frame data actually too. So we're going to frame data. So if I land my forward 4, I should say if they block my forward 4, I'm +6. Alright, this is 9, or this is 9 frames. So if you look forward 3, oh, I'm sorry, it's 10 frames. All right, so it's 10 frames, but if we're +6, that's going to hit in 4 if we take the difference. All right, so now once you have this on block, they have to guess between throw, and they have to guess between the forward 3. All right, so the forward 4 is very important. It is important to make sure that you're landing it in a situation where the opponent can't punish you, because as you notice, the startup is rather large. Alright, someone can react to it, they can flawless block it, and then they can up to you and launch you into combo. So keep that in mind, but if you think someone's going to challenge your buttons, alright, this is a great move to have out there, and if they don't realize that they're that negative, alright, it's going to put you in a situation where you're able to mix your opponent. And again, they have to guess between that and between the grab. Alright, that's going to be like his big mix. Forward 3 combo or the grab. Now, his down 4 is excellent. It's got great range. 7 frame, down 1. His best Punisher is 1-4. Alright, so that's going to be his best Punisher, is the 1-4. And you also have the 1-2 if you'd rather do that. 1-4 I like better because if you miss the punish, right, so if I go 1-2, I'm -7. Alright, if I go 1-4, I'm only -3. Alright, so if you miss the punish, alright, it makes it a little bit more forgiving. So he also has his shoulder charge. Alright, so you have there, it's back forward 3. You can meter burn it and launch them. You also have back forward 1, which is the spear, and down back 4, which you can land at various ranges. You can meter burn it also for extra damage and for a mix-up on block. Now, if we look at down back 4, alright, the hammer lunge is -7. Alright, it's -7, so it is relatively safe. But if we meter burn it, it's -19. Alright, so when we meter burn it, we do take a risk. But if someone tries to take their turn when we utilize this move on block and we meter burn it, we catch them hitting a button. So that's kind of the risk you take. It's almost like a 50-50, you know, in your opponent's mindset, because if he pushes a button or she pushes a button to take their turn, if their opponent meter burns, they're getting hit. All right, so it kind of creates an interesting dynamic. It also combos in the corner. So you see it does launch, all right, in the corner, and you can do that various ranges. You have to do the close one. So keep that in mind. We'll get to combos in a little bit, but I think the buttons and the game plan is more important, so we're covering all of that stuff first. Now, Shao Kahn also has an amazing sweep. All right, it's a low. It's only -2 on block. Really, really good. Covers a good amount of range. So couple that with his down 4. He's got a really good low poke game. He can low profile certain things with this move. And the sweep is just, you know, complement, gets a hard knockdown and puts you back in that mix-up situation on wake up. Now, he also has a pretty good string in forward 2-1. Now, it is a high. All right, it is a high. But this string covers a lot of ground. It's something that you definitely can utilize. And if your opponent is anticipating you doing this string, they're going to be crouching, all right, and they're not going to be blocking because they're going to want to punish that string, either with a down 2 crushing blow or they're just going to poke, all right, and they're going to try to bait that string out a lot of times, and that's where you can get away with this in neutral, all right? So your opponent has to be fearful, and they have to understand that at any given moment, you might just throw this out there. All right, you might just do it. All right, if you don't establish that, I think Shao Kahn tends to struggle a little bit in the neutral. But if you get your opponent worried, all right, about this in the neutral, that makes your job so much easier as a Shao Kahn player. All right, now, one of the things also that I want to cover is the air throw. All right, so we're going to take a look at the air throw. We're going to record, and we're just going to do a jump in. Now, this thing takes priority over everything. You cannot jump in on Shao Kahn, ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever should you let anyone jump in on you. It doesn't matter if it's late, if it's early. It takes priority over every jump in that I found. All right, I don't know about dive kicks. You can also meter burn it if you would like. Bong. All right, and this air grab it's excellent. It's amazing. All right, so keep that in mind as well. It's also a good combo ender. So if I end combos with this, notice the opponent's really close to me, and then I can go back into my mix. All right, am I going to throw, or am I going to forward 3? All right, so that is important to keep in mind as well. The other ender is the, down back 3. All right, this move, and it looks like this. You can meter burn it if you would like. So we'll meter burn it this time, show you what it looks like. All right, it makes the opponent go far away from you, which isn't always the best. All right, so it's probably not best to meter burn it. All right, but if you need that extra damage at the end of a round, or you need to seal a matchup and get that extra damage, or you have your opponent in the corner, not a bad idea to meter burn it. All right, so there are instances that you will use it, but in most cases you don't want to because you want your opponent staying close. So one of the other cool things about this move, it is super negative, but on block, so let's say you have someone that counter pokes rather effectively. So let's do this, right? So we're gonna block always. All right, watch this. If I try to poke, right? I block it, I try to poke, nope, it beats it. So if you poke and then go down back 3 and cancel immediately, anyone who has a really good, poke back game is gonna get clipped by this. All right, so it creates a frame trap. See that? Now, what an opponent is going to do then, they're going to hold block and punish. All right, but if you get your opponent holding block, and let's say, you have them holding block, and they're respecting your ability to cancel, you can just poke them and then go for grabs, right? It freezes them. So if you poke and they block, they're frozen because they're expecting the down back 3, and then you can get all types of shenanigans going for you. All right, so again, you can poke on block and then grab. All right, it allows you to do things that you typically normally couldn't do with other characters because this guy has a frame trap off of his blocked poke. It's not something that I would do a ton. It is something that I would do to force your opponent to think about it, so maybe do it a couple times a match. I don't like to live real risky personally, but I know a lot of people, they'd be risking it. But I don't. All right, but it is a good tool, and it is something that you want to utilize to have your opponent thinking about it. So the last 2 special moves we're going to take a look at, we have the buff. It takes really long to start up. It's really tough to get out and implement. You can end combos in 2-3 and try to get it out as best as possible. Things like slide and really fast forward advancing special moves can punish you. So if I were to do something like this, right, so I can get it out, against most characters, but some characters will still be able to punish me. That's the best way that I found to get it out, is to utilize that combo. But we're going to get to combos in a minute, and the last thing I want to go over is the up hammer throw. And you can do that close. You can do it far if you would like. Land on their head. It doesn't go full screen though, right? That's as far as it goes. Even if I hold up, it doesn't go that far. All right, so it goes about half screen, or you can put it close. Now, this thing is a bill of goods. It's not real. It's something that your opponent can definitely take advantage of, depending on the character that they're using. In the corner, a lot of people think that it jails, but it doesn't. So I'm going to show you, the do's and don'ts of the hammer. And we're going to... Actually, let's do this. We're going to do this. AI options, block all. All right, we're good. All right, so we're going to do that to Scorpion. All right, that's a punish. All right, what else can we do? Backdash out. Keep it safe with the teleport. Oh, we're throwing them. All right, so it doesn't necessarily... You can actually punish it with that. So characters with far-reaching normals can actually punish it, but if they're too early, notice, they're not able to. It's pretty strict, but it is shenanigans. All right, it's not real. You can back up. So you can try to block, and just walk up and throw. All right, the opponent has a lot of options off of that. They can't jump out or anything. If you have a life deficit, they can trade with a down 2. All right, and they win that trade. Notice the health. All right, you lose more health than I do. All right, so the Shao Kahn player is going to lose more health. So in that situation, certain characters do better, obviously, in that situation. Characters like Sonya, they don't really punish that very well. They don't have far-reaching normals. They don't have normals with, no hitbox on them. Scorpion's back 1 does a pretty good job of punishing it. Jade does a really good job of punishing it. So you have to know your opponent, and you have to utilize the up hammer situationally. All right, so we're going to take a look at the hammer throw in the corner. Now, this is pretty cool and interesting. Watch this. So if I were to block and dash forward, all right, I can't get a punish. I get hit. I can't push him out of the way, right? I can't jump out either. Watch, I'll show you. Now, the reason why that is because I'm stand blocking. But if you crouch block the hammer, you can get a full punish. Any good player is going to know this. Alright, so just know that utilizing the hammer toss in the corner is super fake because people can get out of it and they can punish you rather well for it. Alright, and it is a straight punish. So look at the icon. It says punish. See punish on the right? There's no way you can block that. He's stuck in recovery frames. Now, other characters, smaller characters, can actually, if they crouch and block the hammer, can full-on jump out of the corner, and the hammer will miss them. So, like Sonya and other smaller characters, smaller hitbox characters, they can actually jump out of the corner. If they crouch block the hammer toss in the corner, they're going to be able to get out for free. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So one of his most effective crushing blows is to land 3 of these anytime during the match, and then it's 1, 2, 1 plus 3, and then hold it in, and we get that crushing blow. 345 damage, really, really strong to land, with the exception of the down 2. He also has a throw crushing blow off of his forward throw, so we'll take a look. His forward throw, yep, it's his forward throw, triggers on a reversal punish or get up punish. So if we set the opponent to do this, that sucks. There we go. There we go. It's got to be early. It's got to be a reversal punish. All right, so right there, we got it. Now in the corner, we can get some stuff going here. And I noticed the quarter combo is really good here. So those are the basics with Shao Kahn. If you have anything to add, be sure to leave it down in the comment section and help everybody out. If you have any questions, also leave them down there, and I'll be happy to address them as best as possible. So as always, I want to thank you guys for checking in. If you're new, be sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell so you get notified whenever I post new content. So that's it. It's Gleez signing out. Thanks for checking in and continue to game strong.